My Gavan and Melanine, and well met indeed. I am Archir Galadurthan, the head of the modding team behind Divide and Conquer, and welcome to Umbar, the Adûnâim. Welcome back. It's not welcome back, it's welcome to again. I started again. Now, I started again for a very good reason, but first of all, allow me to just, and this is one of the reasons, which we'll get into in just a moment. I'll cut out a lot more at the beginning, but this welcome message has now been written courtesy of Lord of Links, so if you wish to pause and read through, be my guest. There we are. And as you can see, the symbol has been updated. Return of the Adûnâim. I've started again because there's been a wealth of changes since I started the campaign last week. Or on Saturday, rather. A lot of things have been changed since then, and they would not have worked on the save game I then had, because obviously modding an ongoing campaign is cause for failure. So I decided I would start again. Additionally, because the campaign was going incredibly poorly, and even though I had accepted a ceasefire with Dunland, it would have been the next couple of episodes would have been watching me do absolutely nothing. And I thought, on balance, it would be better to start again. So one of those other new changes is the arrival of Gimilthon. Gimilthon is now a member of your family tree from the get-go. You no longer have to wait for him to come of age. And courtesy of a little tinkering of myself, he has his own custom portraits. So there is Gimilthon. He actually has the Rangers, which is why he has that portrait. So Gimilzor now has Adûnâim armsmen, who have their own unique description now as well. Again, courtesy of Lord of Links. So all of the unit descriptions have now been edited to reflect the Adûnâim rather than Umbar themselves. Gimilzor now has the Adûnâim armsmen, so you no longer have 2 spear units as your defensive start. There's Royal Guard. The number of elites in the starting army has been cut down, so you've got 2 rangers, 2 armsmen, and you've got 2 spearmen, and then they're all just middle tier. The other thing is that I have now given all of the Adûnâim unique names, so every general that now comes of age will have an Adûnaic name. He will no longer have a Haradrim name. Similarly, every general that comes of age will have an Adûnâim portrait. Now, you will notice similarities between the portraits of Gondor and the Adûnâim, and that's just because I've taken basically any general who was in the Gondor roster but didn't have a very identifiable Gondorian feature, and I'd made him an Adûnâim portrait. Additionally, your diplomats will now all look like this rather Númenorian-looking gentleman, which is also better, so there's no longer that Haradrim link there. But the biggest change is the expansion of the Adûnâim's building ability. I'm going back to Tharbad, so in a minute I'll cut it out and you'll rejoin the action when I've claimed Tharbad. But you can now upgrade Tharbad if you play as the Adûnâim. You can also rebuild the bridge of Tharbad if you play as the Adûnâim, and the same is true for Osgiliath. You can rebuild Osgiliath. There are other little changes, the quality of life changes for the campaign in general, and it was just all round better, I thought, to start again. So I have, and I shall see you once we've taken Royal Tharbad. Welcome, then, to the proper beginning of the Adûnâim campaign for the version 2 map. So once again, this is as up to date and it is possible to be. And if I just take this brief opportunity to thrust some more tasty goodies in front of you, no pun intended, then we can have a look at the brand new Minas Tirith, courtesy of the Elite Dwarf. Minas Tirith has been given an overhaul and now actually looks like it has features and is no longer just a large white object on the map. So there is Minas Tirith. If you're interested, that was the scroll lock button that gets rid of the UI, by the way. So there's Minas Tirith, but he didn't stop there. He also went over to Barad-dûr and he gave it a far more imposing vibe. So there's Barad-dûr thrusting out of the spur of the mountains there, facing off into the plains of Gorgoroth. So new things all around, new things for everyone. AK-47s for everyone. And so here we are with the Adûnâim. Now, some of you will disapprove of the fact that I've started again, I am sure. Some of you will not be happy, and you will find ways to be very disappointed in me. Oh, how much does it cost to repair it? Repair it, let's get that in. We definitely want that. Right, I'm not going to... of course, I am now also going to learn from my mistakes, which is a reason why some people will be very disappointed. And of course, I'm not going to attack Dunland, given that my troops cannot replenish for a considerable length of time. I am instead going to go for Matraith and Argond and set ourselves up as a little 3 here. However, this time I will abide by the one house rule of the campaign, which will be that we cannot accept ceasefires or alliances. We are standing alone. We do not support any others. Now, the first question comes in, who do we want to actually defend Royal Tharbad as we leave? Dunland might decide to attack us. That's a very real possibility. I'm very tempted to not leave any generals because they're all very important at the moment. Oh, I should have said we had a marriage. Gimilthon has married Min Wieliel, which is a hell of a mouthful. The women also now only have Adûnâic names as well. Now, there is a side effect of having unique portraits for the Adûnâic generals, and we'll get to that as soon as I have a non-starting general die. You'll see exactly what the downside is, and then I can get your opinion on whether or not you think my compromise is good or not. Right, I'm thinking we should leave behind, if I'm honest. I don't want to leave behind the best. We want to just get... Well, actually, what we've got is more than enough to take these two pathetic rebel towns. So if we leave behind the halberdiers, 2 units of crossbows to go with them, and I'm tempted to leave Gimilthon, but I don't know who's better, Gimilzor or Gimilthon. And in terms of the units they have, obviously, are the armsmen or the rangers because rangers obviously have a massive use. But the armsmen are incredibly elite units, right up there with the Royal Guard, but just better at killing things because they're not spearmen. I don't know, and I just feel like we should leave someone here. I think we'll leave the youngest, and otherwise we're off from Matrice. Build me a tower while you're there.
Erecting a watchtower.
Yes, my lord.
Zagarakor, is that your
As
name?
you wish.
Zagarakor, yes it is. Zagarakor. I can't make them like me anymore, so it'll just be a case of hoping that we get the port. Now, Sacklethor, I'm thinking I won't disband you, and we'll just endure the monetary loss we're currently suffering, which is hefty. Apparently, our projected profits are minus 11,000. But that's just because the game's just working out what to do. And obviously that's factoring in the minus 5,000 we just got for putting our castle here, even though that money has already been taken. The game does some very weird and wonderful things. Very weird and wonderful things indeed. Now, in a side note, and part of the reason why this decision to start again did not come lightly, is that I had actually recorded a full 1 hour long second episode. So none of you actually ever saw the fact that I broke my house rule, but I can explain to you that in the second episode, I lost my entire army. I was left with just Gimilcad. Gimilzor was killed, as was Gimilthon, as were the 2 people that married into my family. I don't know if that had happened in the first episode either. But my entire family tree was cut down to just Gimilcad. Oh no, sorry, and Gimilthon. But no one had had any children. So we were really low on that. And in terms of actual troops, the only full unit we had was 1 unit of the Corsair warriors or raiders. Everything else had been killed. I'd attacked Dunland right down to their capital city, and I got destroyed in a siege battle there. But we made them pay with it so heavily that Dunland approached me for a ceasefire, and that's where the second episode actually ended, with me accepting their ceasefire. Because if I didn't, I was going to die. But at the end of the second episode, to give you some more perspective, I was minus 57,000 in debt, and I was losing 10,000 a turn. And obviously, so I had no money, and all I could actually spare to attack Matrice was my generals, and they had this same army to deal with, and they couldn't do it. They just could not beat them. So it would have been the slowest campaign you will have ever seen. And I couldn't bring that upon you all. So instead, I opted to start again for reasons of making the campaign more fun, but also because now we can upgrade the Bridge of Tharbad. There it is. And upon upgrading it, we get the Royal Knights, who even have a new horse now as well, which is all wonderful things to show you. And the Royal Guard come from the bridge. Yeah, you can get the bridge on both sides, but in order to upgrade it, I have to get the 3rd tier of the Masons Hall. I can show you. It requires the Masons Guild House, which is the top one. Mason's Hall, Master Mason's Hall, Mason's Guild House. So we got to get all the way up to there before we can actually build it. But that port will give us a bit of income, Matrice will give us more income, and our army is nowhere near finished. And with any luck, we can beat Enedwaith to most of Minhiriath, which is the region here. and take it. But what I am going to do is actually try and be better this time. Oh, that's so tempting to auto-resolve. I still have my saves, though, which is nice, so we'll go with that. And something that I've noted on the channel is, yes, I appear to be absolutely garbage at this game. And I am in no way a pro or expert at this game. I merely know what's happening behind the scenes, so I can judge the long run a lot easier. I can be more blasé with my troops, and it doesn't matter as much. But I appreciate that in terms of actual skill, I seem to be pretty damn poor. And that, as I've explained a few times, but in videos all over the place, and I'm not expecting you to have watched every video. Nowhere near that many. Sorry, even now, this is a prime example. What I'm trying to get across, the message I'm trying to convey, is that to play the game and to speak at the same time are damn difficult things to do. And I will frequently, like, just completely ignore something that's going on because I'll get caught up in a certain train of thought and find myself talking about random nonsense instead of paying attention. And that happens a lot, and it's something that's very difficult to get around. Now, we do want to ensure, actually, that we take minimal losses here, so our generals are actually going to be a good way to get through this. I don't think we'll need those three. Crossbows and rangers, if we can use you. You will note as well that Hummingbird, I said in the last one that the general didn't speak. But they do now speak, because Hummingbird edited that as well, which is another good reason. And I removed the Kuzaimar battle model that our Gimmelcad had. So he now looks like a Númenórean and not like a Haradrim chieftain. We might give him a unique model in the future. There's nothing stopping us. But for the moment, at least, he looks like the Númenórean generals and not just like some Haradrim chieftain. I didn't think they had any archers. Oh, they don't. The wolves are shooting us. Oh, hold on. Ah, yes, they've got woodland hunters. Bugger. Bugger. Right, get the generals in there. You guys, I don't actually want you to shoot yet. I'm going to try and be sneaky in how we use you. So, hold yourselves back here. The Najutarik, you're going in. Najutarik. Long vowel sounds I always struggle with. Right, the Narrow Guard and the Armsmen, our two best units. There they stand. They look cool. I've always liked the Armsmen. And I say what you like about this massively over-the-top shoulder pads. I love them. Hummingbird did petition the modding team to remove the large and over-the-top shoulder pads. And I said no. Now, so name changes. There have been a few name changes. One you will have noticed there. Lynx, I did go with Baruthiel. So apologies for my earlier misgivings. The Rangers are now called Baruthiel's Rangers, named after Queen Baruthiel, of course. And there's a nice little homage to her cats in the description. And it wasn't ham-fisted, which, if you don't know what that phrase means, it kind of means when something is forced upon you and it doesn't quite work. That is what I feared the description and the link to her cats may have been, but actually it fitted perfectly and I was more all game for it. So they are now called Baruthiel's Rangers. Of course, the Adûnâim Armsmen, I haven't yet actually referenced the fact that they used to be called Castamir's Chosen, but they are now called the Adûnâim Armsmen. And all of the Corsair units have also been given new names. Now, I don't have any Corsair units, so I can't show you, but they are now called the Azra Zair. Warriors, savages, archers, marines, and raiders. And Azra Zair means sea longing, and I wrote a little backstory about one of the great ships of Ar-Pharazôn being called the Sea Longing, and it being the only ship to have survived the downfall. Again, that's not true. None of the Black Númenórean ships actually survived the downfall, but we're breaking the law with this faction anyway, so why balls to the wall. So I've created this fictitious ship called the Azra Zair, meaning the Sea Longing, which survived, headed south, and the Corsairs then took their name from it in reverence to their former lives, if you will. Right. Send in Gimmelcad first, because he's a spearman. He's going to murder those horses. Get the Najutarik slightly closer. Get the archers ready. And so another thing that is relatively new, although this was in the one before, but I didn't mention it, is that all of the spear units you will find are now better at attacking cavalry than they were before. This means they're actually slightly worse at attacking infantry. That's something to note. But it means they're now monsters when they take on cavalry. So it's easier to defend against cavalry in the game now, but it makes your spearmen much less effective against non-cavalry. Right, he's made enough of a hole. Let's get everyone else in. Keep running up, keep running up. We're going to try and rain full fury down on those lumbermen. There's some bandits moving into support over here, but we're not bothered about that. And there appears to only be one unit of woodman rangers, or woodman hunters. Is that correct? Independent realm. I can't see any of these people wielding bows. Because the lumbermen and the rangers, and the huntsmen, sorry, have the same mod. Ah, they're sending more people forwards. Oh, hold on. Those ones with one-handed axes, I think they're hunters. Yeah, they are. They just haven't got their bows out. As the enemy loses the gate. The privateers are going down, which is very nice. Oh, and it's the general that they're charging in against us. Right, get those footmen over here. Can you go into shield wall? Can you go into shield wall? No. Can you go into shield? Yes, you can. Shield wall. Push your way through there. You men. This way. Come this way. Armsmen are going over there. Gimmelcard is going over there. Get those guys there. Right, speed it up. Come out of shield wall. Stop those people shooting arrows at me. You men, come out of shield wall. Smash those bandits. Excellent. The enemy is coming. The enemy is coming. The enemy is coming. No, we don't want Gimmelcard in the front. No, you men. Come in the front there. Gimmelcard behind. Gimmel's on, just go there for now. Get the crossbows in here. Up we go, up we go, up we go, up we go, up we go. Right, you're in positions. We are ready to strike. Go across there like that. No, I'll tell you what, actually. Screw it. Go over there. Crossbowman. Fire at stuff. You men hold the line. Right. Armsman, you're going a long way round. Gimmelcat, so are you. Perfect. Right. Now, you men are probably going to take a battering, but someone's got to be at the front. Oh, how has he gotten through? Shoot them, shoot them. How are you doing on the walls? 82. Oh, we're probably going to lose the Belagar, but that's right. That's no problem. Give me a card. Perfect. Coming on flank there. Glorious day! Right, you're all to shoot the lumbermen. Because Gimmelcat's going to come and hit these people. Then it's just a case of speeding it up and waiting, really. Excellent. Well done. Use your Serpent Elixir, whatever that is. We need to create one for the Numenorians, really, don't we? But I don't really know what would be fitting, what would work.
Our men are in command of the city.
Are they still shooting me? Yeah, they are. Run through them. There we are. That was easy. Hold the line. Armsmen. Go and support our brothers in arms. We still have 4 more minutes. We're probably going to lose a few, but 23%, I mean, it's not the end of the world. But the Nardu Tariq really are going down. Come on, Armsmen. You can pull the Serpent Elixir as well.
Behold how our
And it's over! Glory! 274, that's not bad. Who got the most? 220. Adûnâim Natutarik. Well done, men. I didn't check how many were healed. Curses. Curses. There are some grander changes that I don't know if they've made it into the mod yet, but they will be coming in further down the line. The introduction of the increased ability to gain the Doctor ancillary, or although it will be renamed and changed into something more Middle-earthy. But obviously every faction now has a healing building, or a building chain that gives a health bonus to the town. Health bonuses improve public order, but they also improve growth. And we want to try and link an ancillary to that, which is one of the healing ancillaries, which means that a general with the Doctor ancillary, as it stands at the moment, has a substantial boost to replenishment rates. So the number of units that are healed at the end of each battle is more if you have the Doctor ancillary, basically. And it works absolute wonders. It's incredibly good. As I've been told, because I'm awful with ancillaries. Right, we want to leave behind the minimum possible garrison that we can. This is only a rebel-held town, so if we try and leave the footmen and the crossbowmen... it's still happy-ish. 85, that's not bad. Gimilcad. Move on Argond. See, it's only small amounts of money, granted, but it's money nevertheless. But what we really could do with is a fort, and the nearest one is on the other side of the river. And to get it, we have to attack Dunland. But,
yes, my lord.
Siduri is the next town that way, or we can go all the way over there, which is, I think, where we're going to be going to. Girithlin, once we've taken Caladir.
Raise our banners!
What happens if I leave just one unit type here?
By your command.
Oh, they're still happy with it.
Your will, my lord.
Oh, that gentleman, by the way, the captain. None of us in the team at the moment know how to change these people, but I don't think he particularly is that breaking. He doesn't look super piratey. And let's not forget that the Adûnâim, even the Adûnâim that we are using here, this fake nation, this fan fiction nation, they still live on the coasts. They are still a sailor nation, and that's reflected in their much superior ships, and many of their units have a sailory vibe to the name and the description. So having their captain be a sort of sailor person, I don't think is the end of the world. It's just, I would submit that at the moment, you all attribute that particular model to the Corsairs specifically, the peoples of Umbar. And so now it's difficult to attribute that model to this fake nation, the Adûnâim. So instead of seeing it and actually thinking, oh, hold on, the Adûnâim are sailor-like people, there's no reason that they wouldn't have a sailor-style captain. But because that sailor-style captain looks considerably like the Corsairs from what everyone knows of Umbar, it then makes you think of them as Umbarim, whereas they're now obviously Adûnâim. So I would submit that in time you'll get used to it and you'll be alright. Right, obviously bandits are a pathetic unit, absolutely not afraid of them whatsoever. Our army here on the open field will eat them for breakfast. Of course we are, again, worried about the axemen and the 2 units of sellswords. I can withdraw and I can take Kalon down on his own, but if I fight the battle now and win a glorious victory, which we will do, this is one of those times where I'm making a bad decision, quote unquote. But we'll see. We'll either absolutely massacre them, get a very quick victory, we'll lose some troops, which means we gain some money, and we'll gain our 3rd town. Or they'll annihilate us. But let's not forget the bandits are attacking us on their own first, and then their reinforcements are coming in. From somewhere over there, I think. So I don't really want to use these guys on the main army, and in fact the main army I would quite like to just send the troops in, you know. Every man gets 1 unit of bandits each. Screw it, take the lot. You can all have 1 unit of bandits, everyone has to beat their unit.
The enemy are bringing in reinforcements.
They are coming in from that corner, they're coming in from way down there, so if you guys want to set up on top of that hill for now. Get yourselves ready. Ugh, no, I did control 1. Oh, why aren't... Oh, is it shift 1? Ah, it's shift 1. There we are, that's fine. Right, the rest of you, Moving up. Now is the chance. You're for them. You're for them. They're yours. They're yours, good sir. They're yours. I think we actually have more troops than there are bandits. So someone's going to get to join in with someone else. Oh, well done. Flanked perfectly.
Victory will be ours.
Right, the AI is going to actually push up here, aren't they, to try and support. So let's pull our archers up over here. Oh, no, hold on. If they are going to ignore our archers completely, we can do the perfect flank. So stay where you are. I don't think it'll be long before the bandits rout. I'm not going to lie to you. They are really weak and pathetic. They're already repositioning. Look at the Nargitaric. There's even a gap between the two. It's like watching 300 when the Spartans break out of the small gap in the film. And they just push into these weak and pathetic men. Where's our general? Oh, Gimmelcad is... Oh, they're routing.
Only half the enemy force remains. The enemy army flees the field. Pursue and run them down.
We don't have any cavalry. Right, they're all buggering off. So we want our archers to be able to assist on the flanking. So pull the main body of the force up there. Get a jog on. You guys start moving down the hill. Hopefully we'll get some great kills from you. Get even closer. Right, you're all in lines. Come out of time 6. Another big reason why I often lose. Reform into the units that are actually defensive. Gimmelcad, you're going that side. Armsman, you're going that side. Actually, Gimmelcad, you go in the middle. Gimmelzor, you take that right flank. Everybody's running. There's the privateer axeman. I don't know how well those shots are going to go. They're all bandits on that left-hand side. Not worried at all about them. It's these three right here that we need to drop. Get a flank. Gimmelcad, you pull back over that side too. Getting some shots into the sellswords as they walk past. Nothing severe at the moment. Ah, the privateers are changing. Pull up. Look at the bandits trying to flank. Well, if they aren't going to attack us, we'll assist and attack them. Ah, no, that the bandits are coming for us. Hit those sellswords. You flank on those.
If we continue like this, we will smash the enemy.
I'm not too worried about those bandits. Even if they do hit us, I think they will. They'll get killed. As in, I think the bandits will beat them. But if you can move up, and so you guys can keep shooting them. I'll tell you what, you can run away if you like, actually. Crossbowmen, get yourselves up to these sellswords and start popping them in the back. Ah, the bandits changed their mind. We're not going to get any shots in, that's annoying. You there, sorry, I forgot about you. Go for it.
Our men have slain the enemy general. Without him, his troops will lose their
Move
will
up,
to
move
fight.
up, move up. I don't know which one the enemy general was. Oh, one of the sellswords, wasn't he? Probably this one down here, I expect. Ah, those bandits are routing. I don't think these are going to like getting shot in the back. No, they do not like it one bit.
They have lost. Behold how our cowardly foe runs.
Try and capture what you can, but I don't think we're quicker than them. Oh, you appear to be quite nippy. Why are you nippy? You're the... Go on, get a couple... Oh, we have a large amount, but... 80, we need more. We need more. That's it, I think we match them in speed.
The enemy are
140 plays 1,465.
the mightiest of generals.
Royal Guard. See, I frequently get told by this gentleman that I am the very best Total War player that the world has ever known. But then when I do tend to lose, I lose... I don't just lose, but whole aspects of the campaign go out of the window. Obviously, he tells everybody that he's a veritable man-whore, and he tells everybody that they're the world's best Total War player. So obviously, I don't line my wall with times the narrator called me great or anything, but he certainly seems to have the hots for me, I think.
Your enemies lie defeated.
A solid victory, and the rebels are trying to reclaim Matrice, but we can nip back and stop them. They need siege equipment to take it from us properly.
The enemy are crushed.
Right, send...
my lord.
we're not going to get there before he rises up against us, and those units are going to die. But you two on your own are enough to take it. Oh, why would we do that, actually? We want to move elsewhere.
Yes, my lord.
Ah, where did we move this province to? This town to?
Your orders. Yes, yes.
Ah, there it is.
Without question. Tomorrow's journey.
Oh, it's got some Elder Guildsmen. Right, I'm thinking Gimmelcad and Armsmen, Rangers, 2 units of the Tarek. You're going for Karas Nernaled. Oh god, Argon doesn't like us one bit. You're not going to like it even more when I take these guys out as well. Right. Tharbad likes us a bit more than that, so send some of them down. Argon makes no money. We need Nernaled as well. Our fledgling empire. You cannot be rewarded as you cannot recruit any units. Oh, cheers. Brilliant. Yeah, bloody marvellous. Thanks for that, mate.
To glory and a victorious day.
Yes, my lord.
Right, what we need to start doing, though, is reaching out and getting some trade. I'm more inclined to keep the northern side happy and take out the southern side before we start marching around. We need 60 regions to win. They can come from anywhere, and we hope to take everyone down. But I would rather, I think... if we could take Siduri, actually.
Continue tomorrow.
If we could take Siduri, then we trap the wild men to the southern side of the Guathlo, and we are the divide. But Siduri, we're too far away. We'll go for Nernaled, and we'll try for Siduri. We'll send the diplomat as a scout. We'll try to take Siduri. We get Saraline mercenaries from Siduri if we can take it. So it'd be good. Obviously, the Umbar, the very reason why I'm playing as the Adûnâim, is their conscription system is going to fill our early ranks. Now, one suggestion I actually really did like, but I don't think it's quite workable, especially not for the AI. Let's try it, what the hell. One suggestion I did see was to totally remove the Corsair units, so to get rid of the quote-unquote militia tier for the Adûnâim, and just have the conscripted units as your militia tier, which I think is a really cool idea. But the AI we'd have to do some really clever tinkering with the AI in order to get them to actually to do it, because unfortunately the AI has the way that it builds buildings. Now they're just going to take the town centre in this one, but I think if we try and use the towers to our advantage, that's going to be our best bet. But anyway, so the AI has a various degrees of priority on how it builds buildings, and it will often go for buildings that have troops available first. But a unique building like the conscription building won't feature very highly on its requirements, on its list of priorities, for example. And as yet, I've never known a way to actually change what the priority is.
The enemy are battering down the gates.
So the AI may never build the conscription building, which would mean they'd be without troops for a long part of the start of the game, which is obviously unworkable, really.
Blast their eyes! The enemy's ram is through our gates! Pray something changes in the course of battle, for defeat seems almost certain.
Oh yeah, we will lose. But if we can kill as many of these as possible, it'll make Gimmelkad's job way
The
easier.
walls are no longer ours. The enemy have taken them. Our foolish general has thrown.
Ah, the general's dead, and it's down. We killed 86. That's good enough for me. Oh, that's a good depiction of wargs, isn't it? Ashnazg Dabatluk, Ashnazg Gimbatul, Ashnazg Thrakatluk, Agbarzumishi Krimpatul. Words scribed upon the One Ring in the language of Mordor. Words etched surely is a better word. Or can you only etch stonework? Can you etch jewellery? I'm not really sure. No, it's inscription, isn't it? It's maybe inscribed. Words inscribed upon the ring. Alright, we lost Matrice. But we'll get it back. The army that I'm sending to retake it may look small, but it will do the job. Ah, Kalimetar has betrothed Inzelbeth. Yes, generals as armies at the moment. Allow me to reiterate that the only house rule I plan on actually abiding by is that I cannot accept any ceasefires or alliances. I will happily use more than one general per army. I'm not bothered about that.
Victorious day. Besieging the enemy.
Now, with any luck, they'll attack me and we can really smash them. Oh, we can get the Azrazair archers now and the Azrazair raiders. Azrazair. In preparation for his assault on Valinor, Ar-Pharazôn knew that he would need the finest ships that Arda had ever seen. He tasked his shipwright with constructing these new behemoths, and after years of toil, they did not disappoint. All but one of these vessels were destroyed in the downfall, however. I added, however, but it appears to have not made the cut. I must have forgotten to save it. The Azrazair, or Sea Longing, which made its way to the harbours of the far south. It has remained there ever since. In reverence to this almost holy ship, the sailors and mariners can be heard shouting its name as they charge into battle, their own personal war cry. As such, they have come to be known as the Azrazair themselves. These sailors' cutlasses and machetes lend themselves well to the Azrazair's wild and ferocious fighting style, while their increased mobility at the cost of armour allows them to direct their aggression to the right place at the right time. However, that same destructive recklessness and bullheadedness that makes them so effective may also be their undoing should they run head-on into professional, armoured or mounted troops. Only that top bit is the same for all of them, and then the bottom bit is different depending on which unit you are recruiting. There's a little one about archers. So they're no longer Corsairs, so the problem, if you will, of having Corsair units, even though we're no longer even in Umbar, has been resolved. Now, of course, the campaign is set up that you're supposed to go to Umbar first. Oh, yeah.
Cannot thank you enough. An honour and a
Brilliant.
Farewell.
Let's ensure our mutual destruction, Dunland. I'll give you 100 gold. You give me 100 gold. We'll each buy a stick worth 100 gold and batter each other to death with it. Sounds like a cracking good idea. I should say that I didn't say in the last episode, the AI version of the Adûnâim do indeed start in the city of Umbar, Khaldun, and Ardamir. So they start in the historically accurate location for the city of Umbar. So the Adûnâim nation, when you're playing as anybody else, will just be Umbar. So that is obviously something to know. Oh, we have a nice little hill. Form a nice line on that hill. Get into defensive mode. Let's pop it on ×6 and wait for the enemy to come at us. Now, fortunately, because we're so close to them, and even though 2 of these units do actually throw javelins, they will enter in melee almost immediately and will barely throw a single javelin before we actually fight them. 1 javelin. They threw 1 javelin before we got into it. They don't seem all that bothered about attacking our general, though we've just flanked him round. They're still throwing javelins, even though they are now fully engaged with us.
Our men have slain the enemy general.
Well, the enemy general's dead.
The battle seems to be swinging in our favour.
Come out of defensive mode.
From such
Serpent elixir.
Victory emerge.
Keep hacking away, men. The blood red. Ah, the Royal Guard have a slightly new breastplate as well since the last episode. So many changes to Umbar. Many changes. They've broken. They're wavering. If we can get them to break before the others make it back. Oh, they've already rallied. They've broken. They've broken.
The enemy army.
And it's over. 29 plays 637. 200. Oh, they almost got identical. Well, very similar units. Of course, they were armsmen. They weren't both Royal Guard, were they? I was thinking that they were both Royal Guard, and they're not. They aren't. That's the killing of the dwarves as they made their way from the sack of the forest. What's it called? Oh, I can't remember. And they're heading back to the Blue Mountains, and they get attacked by the Green Elves of Assyrian, the Lyquendi. Is it Lyquendi? No, I'm making that name up.
Glory, honor,
I think. Oh, the first age is just so full of facts. I can't keep them all in my damned head.
Courage and honor have conquered.
Oh, it's all going on down the side here. Jesus. Zimrafel has been betrothed by Kalatar. And as you can see, as I say, they have non-Haradrim portraits, but they look reasonably familiar if you've been to Gondor. The only differences are this gentleman who has the unique red hooded Ithilien Ranger, he is not unique. That particular portrait actually is. Only Gimmelthon will ever have that look. But there are 5 other Ithilien Rangers that I redid them red and added them to the roster. So they'll pop up every now and then as Ranger versions. Now, bear with me just one moment. There's going to be a jarring little pause as I'm just going to check something. Right, and we're back. Sorry. I should note that in version 2, owing to the now vast amount of custom campaign strategy models, it really can take quite a while to load back onto the campaign map. Kalimatar has gained a Black Numenorian +1 trait, an authority trait. Oh, Black Numenorian, which gives him +1 authority, +2 command and attacking infantry. Yeah, because he is a Black Numenorian. And Lord Gimmelzor is now an aspiring commander. Well done, sir. Who reclaimed Matraith for us. There's our Diplo, heading to Siduri.
Yes.
Oh, I also should have said, by the way, I did make it to Tharbad slightly quicker this time. Because I didn't faff around in the first turn moving the ship the wrong way, and the ship just went a slightly faster route, so I got there a little quicker. Oh, I also didn't have to kind of close in inland to get the diplomat to join me. I just cheated and moved the diplomat. But everyone else stayed with there. Now, where's the gentleman who's just joined our army? Ah, here he is.
Yes, my lord.
Where should we send you? Now, Argond hates us. I've never known a place to hate me so much. The cultural unrest is real. We just don't have enough money to do anything about it. Now, Dunland have got quite favourable relations. So if I take you and you guys, cut the garrison there down. If I can swap this out, so if I think I'm probably going to keep you there, Kalimetar. But if I take those 2 away,
by your command,
because I want you guys to come back south again, and you can form another little small army that will head down to Siduri and see if we can beat Ened Wyth to it. I don't think we're going to be able to, but we can try. Now we've got a full family, which is quite nice, and we've got our first grandson, Nimruzir. All of the Adûnâic names are taken from just a general internet search, I must confess. I don't know any Adûnâic words, really.
We are elated you saw it this way.
You have another worthy proposal, then. Excellent.
What do I want? Money. Give me your money! 1,000 for the wealth of knowledge that I hold.
This proposal
The pleasure was all ours.
No one wants our map information. We're such an alien nation to Eriador. No one really knows how to deal with us because, of course, the Adûnâim are set up to like certain factions and dislike certain other factions, and that's all well and good. But they don't have any relations with Bree or with Lyndon or with Imladris or anything like that. So to all of these people, we're complete outsiders. Captain Baron Findle comes with bandits galore. Captain Aranweir doesn't really have anything to worry about, actually, but he's got lumbermen and 1 unit of sellswords, and he's got better archers than the others have had so far. I'd be tempted to wait, join with these 2, see if we can catch the bandits on their own, and then re-siege it again. So if we withdraw for now...
to scatter the men! Flee!
Let's...
Lifting the siege.
Ah, civil disorder in 2 places.
My lord.
Oh, Mitraith doesn't even like us. Oh, it's because the tax rate's not low. There we are. They like us again. No problems there. I'm not bothered about Argon. They're going to dislike us, but it's slowly growing. Whenever there's disorder, people die, and inevitably some of the people that die are the people that don't like you, so it often ends in your favour. Now what we want to try and do here is just catch those rebels out. Lothlorien and Mirkwood have formed a ceasefire. Oh, I should have said that Dunlendings, by the way, are allied to the Misty Mountains. So they are allied to the Dominion of Isengard as normal, and the Orcs of the Misty Mountains. They're currently at war with Khazad-dûm and Rohan. They are not yet at war with Ened Wyth. They may well never be at war with Ened Wyth. Steps have been taken to try and ensure that Ened Wyth get a little bit more survivability.
Ships ready.
Whether or not those have worked is yet to be seen, but steps have been made to try and ensure they have. Ah, there's the new Saraline mercenary unit. We get to train those. There's Hunters Guildsmen themselves there. They look a lot less grand than they used to. Now, the building that we're really interested in is possibly not in Argon. I don't think it actually gets the... Or there's a very real possibility that I have rather foolishly not put the conscription camp in castles. Although this place doesn't get it, so... I don't know why I'm looking in Tharbad. Tharbad wouldn't get it. I don't think Mitraith does. Does it? Ah, yeah, the conscription camp. There it is. It doesn't require anything, so strong possibility that auxiliary outposts, and from there we get Breland Militia, Archer Militia, Merchant Cavalry, Lumbermen, and Woodland Hunters. We can get quite a lot of the low-tier, crappy Bree units. But I did think Argon... No, sorry. No, everywhere north of the river is not included in the Ened Wyth and Dunland recruitment pool area. So... Possibly Siduri is, actually, but outside of that, and Argon, Karas and Ernaled, these places aren't, which is why you can't build them there. The conscription camp can be built anywhere. It doesn't have to be in a castle. What are they doing? Lord Gimmelzor, you've been attacked by bandits, man. They're about to feel Númenórean steel. Right where they don't want it. I'm paranoid at the moment, I must confess, and there's a strong possibility you will not be hearing anything I'm saying, which makes this sentence a very strange, paradoxical phrase. But I unplugged and replugged my microphone in yesterday because I was just briefly moving it, and I didn't check to make sure that the recording is picking up my voice. So... which is why that's a very strange phrase, because if everything has gone well, you will be hearing this phrase, and you'll just think, oh, interesting. But if it's gone as I fear that it may have gone, then you'll never hear me that I've said that. We want to try and at least fight down a slope. It doesn't really matter about being on a big hill. You just want to be on a slope. And obviously up here, we were actually downhill in these trees. They would be... So moving down to the edge over there. Plus it means they've got to walk towards us, which gives us a bit of... they'll be a little knackered by the time these pathetic thieves arrive. Now another complaint that has been levelled against Divide and Conquer of late, or recently, is that the joining of orcs and humans fighting together in the rebel armies is some people have said breaks the immersion completely. Now I suggested, hang on 1 minute. There are lots of very well documented times when orcs and humans fought together. And then they countered, the person I was talking with at least, countered by saying yes, but in those instances there was a strong governing figure who ensured that they fought together. So Sauron or Melkor. And I would say, yeah, that's correct. But is it not true of orcs that because of the way that they're created and the fact that they don't really have free will, they're more given will by Melkor and Sauron, that with the fall of those two peoples, or when orcs aren't actually being led directly by one of those two great entities... Get the general out of the way. Perfect. There is a very strong argument to suggest that... Oh, balls. Gimmelzor might go down. Which worked perfectly with the previous sentence. Anyway, there's a very strong argument to suggest that the orcs would actually just follow a strong leader, no matter who it is. And so in these instances, a suggestion could be that of the rebels, who aren't their own faction and are in fact just lots of varying little like tribes, that just the strongest tribe is controlling anybody that's rebel, and certain orcs have joined with that strong rebel leader.
We will smash the enemy.
Their only purpose is to sow discord, death and destruction across Middle-earth, which is something that the orcs absolutely relish in. And the fact that they're not fighting directly under Sauron doesn't necessarily matter.
Our men have slain the enemy general.
Ah, brilliant. The enemy
Without
general's
him,
gone.
his troops will lose their will to fight.
Gimmelzor took a right pounding, though.
Our men have fought long and are becoming tired.
Our men are going to win. Don't worry about that. One unit of the bandits did have a very high
Behold,
experience
the
level, didn't
enemy
they?
are utterly
58 plays
vanquished.
606.
This is a great
Very limited
victory,
again.
worthy of only the...
Well done, Lord Gimmelzor. Well done. The depictions of dwarves from various different mediums is fascinating, I think. Or from various different viewpoints. I mean, this gentleman over here on the right is a very Peter Jackson-esque looking dwarf. But then this guy here looks kind of like a human wizard who just happens to be on a small body. This guy over here doesn't even look like a dwarf. He just looks genuinely like a short human again. And then you've got people like this guy who looks incredibly stocky.
Glorious victory.
I just find the different depictions quite
Yes,
interesting.
my lord.
Right, we're back.
Orders.
We're re-sieging Caras Nernaled, the City of Three Waters. That's what that means. And which is why moving it away from that point where there were actually 3 waters was always difficult for me, but it makes more sense for it to be over there. The AI does not like these kind of bows having a city in the middle of them. It does not like that because it stands on the other side thinking, well, why can't I get across? And it can't actually just make that little journey. So you've constantly, basically the AI is like a child.
Question.
And you can get it to do what you want, but it needs an awful lot of hand-holding. And sometimes it will just throw its rattles out of the pram and give you the dreaded CTD screen. Now, a common misconception amongst the people who have crashes is that when you get the actual message in the middle of the screen that says Medieval 2 has encountered an unrecognised bug and has forced itself to close or whatever, what that message is basically telling you is that the game has crashed and it doesn't know why it has crashed. Very rarely will you get that message and it actually means we know why we've crashed and this is just us telling you the game has crashed. As I say, it's really rare. 9 times out of 10, if you're getting that message, it's because we simply cannot tell you why your game is crashing. The crashes that are completely fixable, and this is something that makes you just stress when you're trying to help the community, because obviously none of you guys have a modding background. Oh, we're only 2 turns away. I think I'd rather keep the troops than siege that early, if I'm honest.
Orders.
Also, the end turns only take 20 seconds, so 19 the first few did. But anyway, if a game crashes and it's something that we can completely fix, it will crash in a way that lets you know. Like, for example, when you load the game up at the beginning, it won't give you the CTD message. It will just go to the desktop and it'll give you no message. And then you go into the crash log and it tells you, oh, we tried to create this building, but the wrong nation owns it, for example. And then you'll be like, oh, well, that's an easy fix. That's just a change of a name in a file somewhere. Sorted, job done, move on. But the CTD, the crash to desktop, the infamous Medieval 2 bug, just means that your game has crashed and no one's really going to know why it's crashed. Are you trying to bribe me or are you actually coming with a message? You're trying to bribe me. Remember, bribery has been removed, but the diplomats don't know bribery has been removed, so they will keep constantly trying to bribe you, and the animation is so slow, and I don't know animations at all, and I can't speed it up, I'm afraid.
The settlement has fallen, my lord. Victory!
Oh, we'll get 500 gold if we just nip across or if we just talk to the man standing right in front of us.
You have a proposition for this? You have further proposals? Please, I must say.
Why does no one want map info? Like, what is wrong with my map information? It doesn't give you any, like, diseases. Right, here we go. Test number 2. How much is this town going to hate us? Let's leave behind 1 unit.
Yes.
Oh, it stays yellow.
My lord.
Now, the question, though, is Siduri going to fall to Enid Wythe there? And I think the answer is yes.
Orders.
But we can still split their lands. Yes, if we take the village that's in these
We have
hills.
marched our limit.
Head south, men.
Tomorrow.
See, we are making terrible money. We're 47,000 in debt, heading down to 52,000. But this time we have 4 provinces. We're soon to get a 5th. We're getting trade. We're not at war. Our troops are still alive. There's a lot going for us this time. Argond isn't rebelling anymore. I mean, everything is just looking up. I think we've only got a couple more turns before this first episode will end. The Lothlorien campaign will not be this weekend. I'm not sure about the weekend after. Jessica and myself are going to look at houses this Saturday for the entire day. We've got 11 of them to view. And we're going to look at houses the weekend after as well. And then I'm also busy on the Sunday of the weekend after, as it's my good friend's birthday. And so Lothlorien may well be a couple of weeks away, but this Friday I'm going to record quite a few of these Adûnâim campaigns, so it may well be that there's just only 3 videos for a couple of weeks, so just
My lord.
bear that in mind.
Yes.
Oh, it tells you where the town is. Why didn't I do that? Oh, it's right, we're heading in the right direction.
As you
Yes,
wish.
I definitely want to get to Bregost. Cand and Dol Amroth are at war. Interesting. Our taxes are low, the people hate us, the king's men religion spreads slowly, or culture, sorry. 12% in our capital city, though. And at least we got the repairs in. And we got the port, which gives us, obviously, the trade. And that's where the Marines come from, interestingly. The Azrazair Marines. If we had the money, we could get the Raiders and the Archers, but we have no money. All we need is a fort. I'm surprised there aren't more forts in Minhiriath. The nearest one, as I say, is south of the river or all the way up in the Bree land. But a fort is an instant income boost. Instant free upkeep. So I am looking forward to Lothlorien. I really am looking forward to it a great deal. But I am also really looking forward. The start of the campaigns is always the most fun time for me, when you're carving out your nation's initial identity. That bit is always the best bit, in my opinion. And it won't take too long for us to start making money once we actually start making money. I shouldn't really have taken those adoptions on, I don't think, because they are a large factor
My lord.
in why we are not
command.
making money.
To battle, lads. Besieging the
Alright,
enemy.
straight in. We'll end the episode on a battle. We beat Ennard White to it. How good is that? They've got some Vaughan Woodsmen, 2 units of Guildsmen, or Hunters and Elder Guildsmen. Now, I am rather hoping that some of our troops do die, because the troops are the reason at the minute that we're not making any money. Unfortunately as well, whilst you still can actually mod a game that you have a save for, and it will still to a certain extent work, but on the whole it will most likely not work and it will crash down the line. But one of the things I absolutely cannot do is add forts to an ongoing campaign, because they're generated at the start of the campaign. And so I cannot do anything about it. Now, I don't think we're going to try and have an archer off here, because they've got the same amount of archers as us. But I think we're going to actually send troops in this time. Could we climb this hill here? No, we cannot. Oh, that's because it's out of our zone. We should be able to climb it. I don't think I've fought this battle map properly yet. But courtesy of the Europa Barbarum mod, of course. Gimmelzor, you go down there. Oh, the whole family's together. Oh, that's nice. You are free to fire at will. Rain merry hell down on these pathetic bandits and scumfolk. These are the new Hunters Guildsmen. They are the Ennard-Wythian kind of militia tier archer. And they used to look quite noble and regal. In fact, they used to look exactly like this gentleman, but with a bigger cape and without the chainmail. Which was far too kind of middle tier looking. So now they just look like the hunters that they are, really. And they're getting killed off over there. Right, now, so the question, can we climb this hill? Ah, yes, we can. Right, well, there's some Vaughan Woodsmen there that I'd like you to go and say hello to. The archers will skirmish away from you, so don't try and actually get to the archers, just try and make for the square. Gimmikat, don't worry just yet. Crossbows. No, we won't use the crossbows. Stay out of it. To get into range, you'll have to take a load of shots, and you're really not good at taking damage, so... We'll use our superior range of the rangers to shoot those as our militias, as our melee moves in. The woodsman brace. Oh. Perfect, they let us hit them all in one go. There's some elder guildsmen over there. Oh, look at that, the buggers just blocked the way. Gimmelcad. Oh, I'll tell you what, actually. Get the Rangers up. You can shoot those people in the back. You can go and shoot those people in the back. Gimmelcad, head up there. Don't be in fire at will. I never remember what I made those shortcut keys. Oh, the woodsmen are beating the Narju Tariq over there.
Only half the enemy force remains.
Bugger, they're taking us out. You guys go and hit them. The Rangers will catch some of them. Perfect. As our generals move in to end it.
Good tidings. The enemy general lies dead.
I should say the woodsmen they're not great, but they are slightly better than they used to be, and they're more readily available than they used to be as well. And they are obviously pike-wielding gentlemen, which gives them a bit of a boost. Captain whatever that is. Guerre? I don't know.
Our men have taken control of the city.
As soon as they... those ones are routing. As soon as they die, it's over. 91 plays 8. Oh, I didn't choose a golden sword winner. That was disappointing. Now, I don't think... I know it's still playing on my mind. I don't think the microphone will have not recorded me. Because it's the only microphone my computer has. So it has no alternative but to use this microphone. But you never know with computers. They're so temperamental, aren't they? So, the schedule for the week then. This video has obviously gone up on hopefully Thursday. In my time, England. Angleterre. The land of the Angles. And... there won't now be a video till Saturday, which will probably be another Umbar video. And then the video after that will likely be another Adûnâim video. So there'll be 3 in quick succession to make up for the gap and the fact that I started again.
These people now kneel before us, my lord.
Our money is coming together. Dale and Mirkwood are at war. And Bregost is ours. Bregost we can upgrade, and it gets a conscription camp, and we get the Saraline mercenaries from it. But as you'll note, the conscription camp tier 1 gives a huge negative debuff. Minus 75% happiness debuff. Negative debuff. Tautology. I said that in the last video. 2 words that mean the very same thing. It's a tautology. But anyway, it gives a negative bonus to law, or a debuff to law. So people do not like you if you build this building. But if you build the second tier, you lose all of the debuffs, but you also lose all of the income, and instead it turns to a purely military structure. So in the first one, you get 180 gold for your troubles and an increase in tradable goods because you're selling off slaves, as the description explains. But you get a huge debuff to your public order. But the second one, you lose all the income, all the trade, but you also lose all the negative. So it just becomes a fully military outpost. And that is going to be where we end episode 1. Setting sail again. I do hope you're not too displeased that I started again. I do hope you're looking forward to the upgrading of Royal Tharbad, which will eventually come. And I hope that you've just enjoyed this and you've enjoyed the new Adûnâim faction. And indeed, the fact that their portraits are no longer Haradrim, their names are no longer Haradrim, they're all Black Numenorians. Although not all of them, I don't believe, actually. I'm not sure. He is. And he married us. Anyway, that will do for now. Thank you very much for watching, if indeed you have. I look forward to reading all of your comments, and until we speak again, Navar Naden Permad Melonin, and farewell.